Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time for Broad Stipe. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now this is for Shattered, also known as Butterfly on a Wheel, in 2007, but I'm just going to call it Shattered. It stars Pierce Brosnan, Gerard Butler, which is interesting. You also have Maria Bello, Nicholas Lee, who I remember as Agent Krychek from the X-Files. And pretty much, Gerard Butler and Maria Bello, they are a couple. They have a daughter. They go off for something, and Pierce Brosnan is hiding in the back seat. And we're 15 minutes in the film, and he has a gun on them, and we don't know what he wants. It seems like he wants money. They get over $100,000, but then he burns the money, and then he has these different type of tasks as the movie goes on. You know, I'm going to have this dinner here. You go find $300. If you try to warn somebody, I could make a phone call and get your daughter killed. Or if they don't get a call from me, she'll get killed. And it's pretty much almost like a cat and mouse game between the couple and Pierce Brosnan. Now, this is one of those films that is hard to talk about without going into the finale. This is a movie that, you could like or hate this movie depending on the ending. I liked the ending. I found it might be considered mundane. Some people say predictable. I thought it was interesting enough, and I thought it was satisfying for the story. I actually liked the direction they went in. God, I'm trying to be vague because it's hard. Pierce Brosnan does a good job, as does Gerard Butler. I think they play off each other fairly well. Maria Bello is good support. He doesn't have much to do, but it's always nice to see Nicholas Lee. I always think of Agent Krychek when I see him. There's not a lot. It's not an action film. If you don't want to expect an action film, it's not. It's a bit more of a thriller, drama. But some people may feel it's a bit too mundane or a bit too, I don't want to say safe, but it's not like you don't get a lot of like fisticuffs, car chases, these tasks. It's not like there's this film I saw called Nerve, where you had some really crazy tasks that these people were meant to do. Or another one called, I think it was called 13 Sins, where, no, or was it, no, maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. There was another movie, and I keep thinking it's that, where the guy answers a phone, and with each task, if he completes it, he gets a big chunk of money, and then they get more and more crazy as it goes on, and it gets more deeper and deeper. I forget the exact name. But there's a reason why it doesn't go into that as well. So some people may think it's, compared to those, it's not like the tasks are that insane crazy. So maybe people feel a bit let down, but at the same time, because like when the ending happened, I'm like, I get it now, and I liked what the movie did with it. And the direction of the film is competent enough. There's some nice shots of showcasing the cityscape. Like Pierce Brosnan, a little bit of Irish in his accent in this movie. I think he worked well as this villainous type of character. Gerard Butler, later on you see him much more in films like Olympus Has Fallen, which I liked, and Gamer, which I remember liking, Law Abiding Citizen, like very different type of roles compared to this, where he's much more of just a typical husband, dad. He's not action hero in this movie. But that was fine, because compared to what I've seen afterward, which I did like that stuff too, it was at least a different change of pace. Like I said, I think the actors did their jobs well. Yeah, the frazzled Butler versus the villainous Pierce Brosnan. I can't review this film unless I give away the ending. So I'll put it this way. If you like Pierce Brosnan, if you like Gerard Butler, if you want to see a thriller, I think it's pretty decent. Again, a lot of people, a lot of critics hated the film. But to me, like I said, I prefer it. I liked it, I'll get to why, and that's why I'm being so vague and fucking around with the review. Spoilers starting now. Spoilers. These tasks and things going on seem, in the scheme of things, mundane. You get some money, then he burns it. Gets $300 for dinner, then do that. Where the wife sells the ring and Gerard sells his watch. This envelope that could get you fired, Maria Bello's going to give it to the boss. And Gerard's trying to warn her not to do it, but she can't. She's worried about her daughter. Understandably so. There's a point where he makes Gerard Butler stand on a ledge, even though he's afraid of heights. Or I don't know if he's afraid of heights, but he's afraid of that height. One thing leads to another. Pierce wants him to go into this place and shoot this person, and then, lo and behold, you find out that the reason this is all happening is Gerard Butler cheated on Pierce Brosnan, his wife. Was sleeping with Pierce's wife. And even Gerard Butler, in a frazzled state, tells her, goes, what if your husband found out? And she goes, well, he would destroy him. And that's why Pierce has been going through this. He's been doing all this, mainly focusing on Pierce, rarely on Maria Bello, because to fuck with Pierce, because he's been sleeping with Pierce's wife, says, you better kill her or I'm going to call and kill your daughter. Does it, but the gun is empty. And this is what I mean, some people found it predictable, but to me, I guess it wasn't, because actually, there's a lot of times they would end and, oh man, it's going with this stupid twist. I found the twist actually kind of refreshing in how, in a weird way, mundane it was. So it really becomes a family drama. And what I mean by that is, the gun was always empty. Pierce never had intention to get his wife killed. The daughter was never taken. The daughter's been home the whole time. You may have questions about that, bear with me. And he did this to fuck with Gerard Butler because, as he's beating the shit out of Gerard Butler, huh, it was just one, huh? Just an affair? Just your cock in my wife's mouth? The same mouth I kiss every day? Huh? It was just that? And he's ready to fuck up Gerard Butler more, but the wife stops him. And he doesn't smack the wife. Doesn't punch the wife. So really, Pierce Brosnan, to me, wasn't the villain. And that's what made it interesting. He seemed like the villain, but he really wasn't the villain all along. You totally get his point of view. You totally get what he was doing. Yeah, there's always things you gotta go on a ledge on believability. But I don't think it's as unbelievable as some people make it out to be. I bought a good chunk of it. Especially What do you get to the next part? Gerard Butler comes back. Maria Bello's in the car. She's asking what happened. He goes, "Oh, the guy, someone was cheating on his wife. It was Carl. It was this other guy." So he doesn't tell his wife the truth. And when he gets back, lo and behold, Maria Bello was part of this. Yes, Gerard Butler's wife was a part of this. Just like Pierce, she had found out that Gerard Butler was cheating on her. I believe this is like the second time he's done it. Because they mentioned there was an incident before. About all the pain you made me go through while I would sleep at night next to you. And I knew that she would see the same thing as I did. And you lied to me. You made me feel so awful, so terrible, so lost, so useless. And some people groaned at that twist. I actually liked it because it did make the film make more sense. Why was Maria Bello, why was she telling him, don't call the cops? Why did she keep stopping him? She was with him along the way. So if he tried to do something too off the beaten path, she would calm him down. She was the one with the phone pretending that the daughter was kidnapped, but it wasn't. It was just the phone was dead. She was just acting. So the daughter was home safe the whole time. And Gerard Butler's like, what about all of our money? He didn't burn all the money. I brought the suitcase out, remember? And in the suitcase there was this amount of money, but the rest of it was just newspaper. So you still have your money. Well, I'm fired now. No. I gave an envelope to your boss. But what do you think was in it? And because to the boss opened up is a bunch of blank papers. So, as she says, you got your house. You got your money. You got your career. The only thing you don't have is me. And she's like, listen, I get you. I understand you, but I don't want you. How does it feel to be hunted? No, different movie. That's Hard Target. But it was this manipulative ploy where two people who got fucked over by their loved ones, Pierce Brosnan and Maria Bello, enacted this plan that couldn't be too over the top, which is the sad detriment of you. That's why you don't have these big crazy sequences of action or terrifying situations. It can only work in a certain parameter to justify the ending. So that Pierce Brosnan, I don't think you hate the character, you perfectly understand it. He never put the kid at risk. He didn't really put anyone else at risk. There's one moment that he, for acting, hit Maria Bello in the face in order to sell the illusion. That's pretty much it. And then you have Maria Bello controlling Gerard Butler as best she could to keep the facade going. That, to me, made the film interesting. It's kind of like the ending to The Game. Although I would say The Game I like much more. And that is something that I think The Game works better because the operation was such of a bigger budget. The whole illusion, it to be much more prominent and much bigger of a thriller type of movie. But you still have that kind of ending and the justification because this is a company that, they do these intricate illusions for a high price. So I think The Game, like I said, gives me the big thrills that I want, but also has the ending that I really enjoy and find interesting. And most people feel it's a cop-out. They felt it was a cop-out in The Game. They feel it's a cop-out with this movie. But again, to me, that makes it... That goes back to, the original April Fool's Day. Those endings, they're kind of interesting to me. They're not used a lot, which to me makes it more refreshing. And yes, there's always a little bit of, well, what if this and that happened? It's not going to be 100% sound in terms of logic. I'm willing to forego and let that go because I still find the story satisfying to my own taste. So at the end of the day, like I said, this becomes, to me, an interesting story about how two people, fuck over this guy that hurt both of them. Because Gerard Butler cheated on his wife, so he hurt Maria Bello, emotional wise, psychological wise. Obviously hurt Pierce Brosnan because it was the wife, you're stupid, his wife. And Gerard Butler, I mean, he gets what he deserves. But at the same time, it's not so over top, like he lost his arm, he lost his leg, he lost his eye. Like you say, hey, you got your house, your money, your job. I was just able to make you feel for one day what I felt for months. And also, D to the I to the VORCE. So again, that's an ending that a lot of people, again, either they felt as predictable, which shows how stupid I was, because I didn't see it coming. Because I just expected like either really even more dumber explanation or just some other darker downbeat thing. Because I think that's more typical. And that's the thing. That's what I liked about it. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't as typical as other endings. As I said, it made it, like I said, more of a family drama, which was more interesting to me. So when I look back, I go, oh, okay, that makes more sense, and that makes more sense. That's why this happened. That's why that happened. Okay, then. And I thought the actors did their jobs well. It actually made me feel for Pierce Brosnan's character and understand why he did that. I thought Maria Bello carried it off very well, especially when her personality changes at the end, where she, the frightened wife and mother, but then when she tells him the truth, just how, not sinister, but much more serious. And the reason the alternate title was Butterfly on a Wheel, it deals with a poem where, like, I think part of the poem is that there's a butterfly on a wheel, and someone takes a hammer to kill it. And the question is, why take a hammer when you could use a fly swatter? So I guess in a way, in this instance, why not just divorce the person instead of going through all this? Well, again, because she wanted to make him feel the turmoil that she felt. And listen to me, it made for a much more interesting story. Much more of an intriguing storyline. And again, it justifies why things don't go so far off course, so bitter. Again, to the detriment, some people say this looked like a Lifetime Channel movie. I wouldn't go that far. But I would say this is a film that looked like a theatrical film. It doesn't look like a film that would go straight to video. But, one that I thought was a decent watch. I don't know if I would rewatch it over and over again, but it was at least worth one watch. And now that I give away the ending, I don't know if people would be that interested, but I think even if you know what's going on, to me, I think it, again, made more sense than people make it out to be, and I still thought it was interesting. But that's just me. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.